Hey everybody, welcome to episode 10 of the AskDAP show. We're outside in our facility just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina. It's a beautiful day, so we decided we'd film outside. Let's get into the questions.
Josh P. via email says, "Hi, great web series. When does the cam chain on an FSI need to be replaced? Same time as the belt? What are the symptoms of cam chain tensioner failure?"
Josh, the FSI, for anybody who's not familiar with what he's referring to, FSI engines have a timing belt that is on the passenger side of the engine, drives the camshafts, crankshafts, and water pump. On the opposite side of the cylinder head, on the driver's side, there is a cam chain that locks the two cams together and gives the vehicle the ability to adjust the cam timing for the timing adjustment for the ECM. Now, that does tend to have some issues over time, but there isn't really a service interval for that. It's something that you have to replace as needed, and you're gonna have to maybe keep an eye on it. Mostly the best way to determine if you're having a problem is gonna be noise. They'll tend to start making chain slap noise when the little tensioner that keeps tension between it, either the guides break and you'll start hearing some chain slap or something like that. The adjuster units also tend to fail sometimes, so might be something you want to just pay attention to if you're having any timing related faults and you haven't recently done anything with the timing system. You could have a problem with the adjuster, the chain tensioner, or potentially the chain itself, so just keep an eye on that stuff.
Alejandro via email is the owner of a VW Tiguan 2.0 TSI DSG. I've noticed it consuming too much oil. The VW service here in Argentina didn't come up with a solution to this issue. I first noticed the consumption when the engine had 75,000 kilometers. I am now adding half a liter every 2,000 kilometers. Now it has 110,000 kilometers, and I would really appreciate if you can give me some advice about this.
Alejandro, being that you're from Argentina, I don't know if the South American specs are any different. I assume they're probably the same, being that most of the engines are going to be the same. VW and Audi in the US, their spec for pretty much all engines as far as I'm aware of, is 1 quart for every 1,000 miles for it to be considered excessive oil consumption. Now, for anybody who's having an oil consumption issue, if you're under warranty, what you would do is bring your vehicle in to the dealership. They're going to mark your dipstick and check your oil, note it in their system so they have a record of your repair order and the mileage you were in there under, and then you'll come back, I think, every 1,000 miles to check to verify you don't have an oil consumption issue. Now, if you've exceeded that amount, you're going to need to have something addressed, but if you're not exceeding a quart every 1,000 miles, then there's nothing you're gonna be able to do. While that is a little bit excessive, it is within the spec that VW and Audi specifies for most of their engines, and there's not much you can do except for just keep an eye on your oil.
Great video, guys. Keep up the good work. I have a 2009 VW CC with a 2.0 TSI engine. When the engine gets to operating temperature, there is a squealing noise that is not coming from the accessories belt because I removed it to diagnose the noise. Where else can the noise be coming from? Water pump belt pulleys? Thank you, and I hope you can help me with this.
Okay, so on a TSI CC, any squealing noise you have coming from the engine compartment, that is great to check. Removing the belt for any vehicle, the serpentine belt, from the vehicle while it's running is good to eliminate anything in that system as creating the squeal. Now, the next step is, okay, is it water pump related? Could be. Well, the water pump is driven off the balance shaft, has a little tiny belt about this big that actually drives the water pump itself. Now, the water pumps are known to make noise when they fail or potentially leak. The other thing that it could be, and it's hard to say because we haven't heard the noise, it could be PCV related. So if you're hearing a noise that's a squeal and it's PCV related, you might be able to address that by trying to determine if it's coming directly from the top of the valve cover. We have a DIY as well as a write-up on that PCV valve, which we'll put a link to, and then we'll also link to our buddy Charles, the Humble Mechanic, did a video that we sponsored for the water pump failure. So we'll link to that as well.
Josh S. via Facebook was told there is an extended warranty from VW for the FSI motor's cam follower that covers all mechanical damages caused by a failing cam follower up to 120K. Anyone have any info on this?
Josh, so for anybody who's not familiar with what he's referring to, FSI engines from 06 to 08 had a warranty extension that was 12 years or 120,000 miles. Now, that doesn't apply to all cars. It does apply to most of them. I think some of the 08s might be left off of that. The best way for you to determine if your vehicle applies to that, get your VIN number, contact your local dealer, see if it applies to the extension. Now, the other variable to that is, from my experience, when these things come out, people start to get really panicky and try to get all their stuff replaced on their warranty. The problem is the dealer cannot fix a car that's not broken. There's no way that VW will reimburse them to make that repair. So, until the vehicle actually is broken, which means a check engine light, or the cam follower is completely busted through and damaged the fuel pump and the camshaft, or any variation of that, there's no way the dealer is going to actually be able to make this repair that everybody would like to have done. Even though, yes, it is a common problem, it is likely to fail, all those things, still irrelevant. Now, the other part to this is that a lot of times when there is a warranty extension, if you were able to if you had your vehicle repaired under warranty, you will be able to get reimbursed if you had to pay for these parts at any point if you fall within that extension. Now, you would have to submit that to VW of America, not to a dealership, so you'd have to go through all that and get reimbursed through them, and so don't even bother contacting your dealer unless you just want to get a receipt or something like that. Really, it boils down to contact your dealer, see if it applies. Don't get upset if they can't replace your stuff, because the car has to be broken for them to fix it and get paid by VOA, and that's just a matter of how it works. Thank you for watching episode 10 of the AskDAP show. If you want your questions answered, shoot us an email, info@shopdap.com.